sectioned up and moisturized and everything, except this last section so I can show you guys. This is how my texture is looking with no product in it down here. I'm gonna use the Miche Indulge Moisturizing Deep Conditioner. I use this as a moisturizer. I like the slip. I feel like it works better than most moisturizers. I know it's made to be a deep conditioner, but it's still a moisturizer in my opinion, so I don't see the difference. My hair loves it, so listen to your hair, what your hair likes. Also too, Miche's like actual moisturizer is like super expensive for less product, so that's another reason. And this works perfectly fine for me. So detangle with a Y2 comb, get my tangle teaser, brush, smooth it out. Then I take my butter oil mix that I make myself and I put it on my roots just to emulate the scalp and keep the scalp moisturized since it's wet right now. And then I take a little bit and put it on the shaft of the hair to lock in the moisture. I detangle again. And these are how the curls are looking. They're loose, yes, I know. And you can see here like how the roots are a little thicker than the end. As it continues to grow out, I'm assuming it'll continue to get thicker and thicker. And as I trim, it'll, you know, eventually grow out. As you guys know, I love my Kiki Curly Curling Custard. It's my favorite styler. I'm just going to take about that much, maybe a little less. And I always apply it to the roots first to get that nice and slick, because that's the main reason why some people's roots get poofy, is they don't add gel to the roots. You just have to like put it on there. Obviously you don't have it all up in your scalp too much, I guess, but you want it at the very root of your hair. Take the Denman brush. To tangle, you go downward. To smooth, you go sideways. I always start off downward like this, and then I'll smooth. Add a little bit more product, and then I shingle, as you guys know. I take sections about the size that my curls are. So medium, small sections. Whatever feels right to your curl pattern is what I do. As you see, these strands are like practically straight, but they will continue to shrink as time goes on. They'll get their earrings and they'll start shrinking. Trust me. I just want to let you guys know that the last time I straightened my hair was March 1st. And as of now, I do not plan on straightening my hair again in the foreseeable future. So that's why I detoxed my hair. So another change in my hair. My hair is not as dense as it used to be. I watched some old videos of my hair when it was at its like healthiest, I guess, when I wasn't using as much heat. And my hair was extremely dense. And my hair is still pretty thick, but it's not anywhere near as thick. I'm assuming because the texture is not as tight, but it also just doesn't seem as bulky. It used to feel very, very bulky. And I actually really like that about my hair, and I'm noticing that my hair is not like that anymore. That bothers me a little bit. It doesn't bother me like a lot, like where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna big chop. Definitely not gonna big chop. If you guys are wondering, I'm gonna just grow it out and just gradually trim over time like I normally would, and not trim in excess. Like, you know, I'm not gonna trim my hair more than I already do. When I decide to how my technique will be for trimming, I will show you guys how I trim my hair at a later date. Some hair inspiration that I have that like kind of influenced me to go back to like my natural texture is this girl named Alicia Ray. I always wanted to be like, as you guys know, like there's been times on my channel where I'm like, oh, I want to be 100% curly, but like I never, you know, I'm a pretty innovative person where like I set the standard for myself a lot. I set my own trends. I'm sometimes ahead of trend, and I will be doing something years before it catches on. But when it comes to hair, like especially curly hair, my hair texture, which is 3C4A, I didn't see a lot of, I guess, YouTubers or influencers or just Instagram. This is before influencing, honestly. Just other girls with my texture with super, super long hair. My curly goal was always waist length curls, but I guess the only waist length curls I would see were girls like that had 3B, 3C hair. And it was kind of discouraging because I would feel like, oh, my hair, not that it couldn't get that long, but like it would just take forever. So I always like resorted back to straight hair to like, I guess, fall on that would be to show off how long my hair is. Just to add in, like, not saying that when it comes to my hair, I'm not ahead of trend, because I was wearing my hair curly way before a lot of people were wearing their hair curly. I started wearing my hair curly probably back in like 2003. I think the natural hair movement started like in 2009, like started like in 2009. It didn't even really kick off until like maybe 2012, 2013. So I actually was like ahead of the game when it came to wearing my hair curly before a lot of other girls did. And I'm not saying this to say that like I'm better than other people, but I'm just trying to add in that it's not like wearing my hair curly was ever a problem for me. It's just that I just always resorted back to straight hair as a means to show off my length. But I always wanted to just kind of let my curls speak for themselves. And like, I used to hate when people would be like, my hair would be curly majority of the time. I straighten my hair and be like, oh wow, your hair is long. And I'm like, you can't tell how tight my curls are that my hair would be long if it was straight. You know what I mean? Like, I would think that with how tight my curls are and where my hair lays, like, which is usually neck length, shoulder length, you would think like my hair would be long if I stretched it out. Like, oh dang, your hair's probably really long, right? I mean, not that I need that validation, but because I know my hair was longer, it would annoy me because then I felt like the only way to really show off my length was to straighten it. So my treat every now and then when I would reach like a length goal was to straighten it to show off the length, obviously also to trim it. That was the only reason why I wore my hair straight. I never enjoyed straight hair like that. It was nice to see it look different, flip it around a little bit, but after like a day or two, I was over it. It was really just to show how long my hair was to myself and to others, and also to just get a thorough trim because you can't really see my ends that well when my hair is curly. Like, it's really hard, especially like in certain areas where the hair is kinkier or like frizzier. It's really hard to tell. You can mistake frizz for damage very easily. Whereas when I straighten it, I'm like, oh, it's not damaged, it's just frizzy. So all right, this is this section. As you see, the straight pieces that you saw before are starting to form into a curl. So that's that section. I'm gonna do this side and then I'll be back. This is the back of my hair. That's how it's looking. It looks really good. It's very defined. So yeah, I'm gonna move on to the front of it on this side and I'll show you guys where the texture change is. So here is this looseness that's practically straight in the front on this side. So if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that this section of my hair, I used to call it the Bermuda Triangle because it was completely different than any other texture in my head. I would say the crown and this one section are like the most different textures that I have. But the crown is still curling, whereas this it would always be a lot straighter than this side of my head where it would always look lopsided in the middle part. But with all the heat that I was using, it's definitely straighter than it naturally is. So that's what it is. And you can kind of see at the roots where there's a little bit more texture and the like in between. So yeah, so it's growing out. Like I said, the last time I straightened my hair was March 1st, so it hasn't even been a full month. So it'll take time for it to grow out, especially because the front is kind of long. It'll take some time to grow out, but I'll just dust it. Trust me, I don't have any like urges to big chop whatsoever. I'm just gonna let it grow out, gonna trim it off. I've done it before, but I've gotten a little bit of heat damage and I just grew it out and it was fine. So yeah, I don't have plans on big chopping at all. Just gonna let it grow out. Also too, this actually starts to shrink more once it dries. Like right now it's wet, it's very straight, but as it starts to dry, it will start to get more like curl or texture or wave, whatever. So yeah, So I did that side first to like let it dry by the time I finish. So as the day goes on, I'll show you guys. But yeah, you can definitely see here, like if I pull it outward, how this parts here is a little bit more like, has more texture than down here. And this is, I would say, my natural texture, this like frizzy loose texture up here. So you can see how easy it is for it to become this straight, because it's already pretty loose. This side always was like, it had spiral curls. I can tell you now, it's not as spirally as it used to be. It used to be like spirals, very tight spirals, like perfect spirals. It's not that spirally anymore. As you can see, these are this right side of my hair. It's still pretty curly, not as curly as it could be because it used to spiral. I mean, it's still pretty good. Like I would say that up here, the texture is like its natural texture, and down here, maybe not as much. But yeah, this is how it's looking on this side. I was debating on doing the middle part versus the side part. And I'm really liking my baby hairs and the swoop-de-doop here and my sideburns right now, so I might do a side part actually. This is how my wash and go looks while it's wet. I'll come back at the end of the day when it's more dry to show you guys how it looks, because I know I never come back when my hair is dry. Like I know you guys are probably like, why don't you ever come back when your hair is dry? It's really because I'm lazy. That's still very curly. And then this side, a little swoop-de-doop. And the curls on this side are very fine. My hair is still very thick. And that's because I use green tea every time I rinse when I wash my hair. So yeah, it looks really good. So yeah, texture is definitely different, I will agree. So I'm going back out, and yeah, over time you'll see it get curlier. But I'll show you when it's more dry how it looks, because it will continue to shrink some more. So yeah, be back. I'm gonna get one more little once over. Back, so I just wanted to show you guys the final of my hair. This is how it's looking. It's like, I don't know, not 90% dry, but I want you to see the shrinkage real quick. So yeah, there's like these pieces in the back, these like long pieces are the pieces that I would say like texture that has changed the most. Is this piece back here, and obviously the front is like these pieces here are like the texture that changed the most. But overall, I would say my hair is looking pretty good. So I feel like it would be a really easy transition to get back to my natural hair texture, because my hair is pretty good. It's still pretty there. If you guys have any like inspiration or suggestions for like people to look at on YouTube or Instagram, wherever, who have super long 3C4A type hair, please send them my way. I'm looking for inspiration to keep me motivated to stay curly. But right now, I am very happy about the decision. I'm finally glad that I'm at that place where I feel like I can make that decision. I think also what is very helpful is that the fact that I figured out my Revere and how to make my hair really straight, so I can like see my ends and dust it without having to straighten my hair, because I always felt like if it's really hard to trim my hair curly because of how tight it is. It's really hard to see like the ends, especially in like the midsection and in the crown. It's a lot frizzier, it's hard to see. So the Revere allows me to see my lines a lot better, makes me feel more secure that I'm getting what needs to get off versus more than I need or too little that I need, if that makes sense. So without having to straighten my hair, because I'm always like, well, I'm gonna straighten my hair to trim it, I might as well just go all out and just do the damn thing. So I'm glad that I don't have to straighten my hair anymore, and I found something that allows me to trim my hair the way it needs to be trimmed, stretching it without like actually straightening it. And I never liked blow dryers because they're very harsh, and all that brushing and all that pulling and all that like heat, I don't like that. So I'm like, if I'm gonna blow dry my hair, I might as well just straighten it, same thing. So at least with the Revere, all it does is suck away the water from my hair, just to stretch it out. And I feel safe using that as a way to trim my hair. So stay tuned for that when that day comes, when I have to trim my hair. I don't have to trim my hair till I think May 1st, so about another month. So yeah, this is how my hair looks.
My daddy's make it hurt.